Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2 Curse of the Vampire Coast. Every once in a while, maybe 1 in 3 episodes, I'm going to get that name correct. Here we are, getting ambushed again, which I'm not too happy about. But you know what I am happy about? Check out this crab. This is amazing. Let's take a quick look at Celestia's stats here. I guess I'm not going to be super good at telling the difference between her pre-crab and post-crab stats. She has 150 armor now, which seems excessive. We have melee attack, is this more weapon strength? I have no idea. I don't think her damage was heavily armor piercing before. You know what? I'm realizing this is not... this was not helpful. And we may have picked up some new abilities, but maybe not. I don't know. It might just be... Hold on. Here's something I am curious about. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. We probably are not counting as full ethereal anymore, because if I was counting as full ethereal, they wouldn't be giving me 150 armor. So we have our 10% ward save from our talisman. We only have 40% raw physical resistance, but we have 150 armor to back it up. So we might be a little tiny bit less tough, but giant crab. You know? So there's that. Also, of course, she's large now, which sometimes is good and sometimes is bad. In particular, when fighting other lords on foot, I expect it to probably be good because she's going to be... The giant crab is going to be knocking them all over the place. They're rarely going to be standing up long enough to hit her. Alright, so it's time for another ambush battle. If they make the same mistake here in not going after the artillery at all that Alithanar's army made, I think we should have this pretty easily. I think her army's considerably worse. Officially, we can't see what they are, but we did see what they were last turn. I gotta admit, I am surprised that she can move as far as she can move. Oh, look at this. Look at this guy. Look at this guy we're riding. He needs a name. You know what? I'm gonna call him Doris, after everybody's favorite baby giraffe. So it would appear that the enemy has mostly set up far away from me in a position where I can fire artillery shots at them. It's like my birthday. It's like my birthday every single day out here on the Pirate Coast. Vampire Coast. So I guess we'll just open fire on the things we can actually hit for now, and then we'll start shooting at the ranged, which are definitely the more important targets, once that is a little bit more feasible. Apparently the mortar needs to move forward a little bit more. I mean, they're also going to come to us, right? So let's have the gun line, honestly, maybe not even move too much from where they're at now. We'll fall back a little bit, and we'll have the basic melee move over here. So what I'm thinking is, I want the gun line to have a nice clean shot on the approachers, but I want the melee to be nearby to collapse on people. I really want to make sure we have a clean line of fire. And then you guys, the more advanced fancy melee, and I'll just like form up on the other side of the ranged. I don't know, it's not rocket science, but it seems like an okay plan to me. And so where we started with a ton of Winds of Magic. We should probably hit our stuff, though, because we did not start with full reserves. Oh, I should command group these guys. We got incoming. They have a Phoenix. How are we going to deal with a Phoenix? Well, the Gunnery Wight can turn and just shoot at the Phoenix. I think we probably cannot throw grenades at it. You know what? Actually, he will throw the grenade. It's still too far away, but he'll try. He's willing to go for that. I appreciate that. Alright, Queen Bess. I am just not worried about normal Lothern spearmen. Let's try to focus on these guys. You can probably hit him too. What's he doing? Okay, he's challenging Celestia. He dares to fight the crab. It does not seem to be afraid of him. Okay, they're shooting all their magic arrows and stuff. We should probably, Okay, we are headed into the forest already. I guess these guys should move up a little bit, because we should be a threat to those units. Or maybe we should plan to shoot at the Silverhelms. I mean, we're kind of tearing the Phoenix apart. Maybe I could just probably reroute all this fire onto the Phoenix or the Silverhelms. And then you guys maybe need to move up a little bit because we got to get some range on their ranged. Yeah, maybe something a little bit like that. And we're firing into the back. Queen Bess is already landing those big hits. We got that first round of real mortar fire coming in, so let's see how that lands. Honestly, that was pretty good. I'm going to keep the mortars focused on their ranged, but... Okay, so the Phoenix had to disengage because things got embarrassing. Now we've switched positions on who is tied up by Silostra, so we'll also switch positions on who's getting shot by the guys here. And I think it might be time for some distraction crabs. Also, the depth guard can get in here. Why not? Let's do this. Let's throw grenades at somebody. I should throw grenades. We have them. Grenade throwing range is not awesome. I guess maybe we save the grenades a little bit. I don't want to really throw a grenade directly at Silostra. Yeah, just keep shooting the Phoenix. It would be really great if that thing died. I don't want to have to deal with it. Where's Robert? Robert, could you please solve this? Alright, so the gunnery lines are actually firing now. I'm going to have a couple of these guys run forward and threaten them from the forest because it's slightly safer to threaten them from the forest. The crab line is crabbing them up, and we got to summon some more dudes. What if I just had 1 million more units? What if it was all infinite zombie units? So a big part of the problem we're having here, and it's not even really a problem, it's mostly annoying. A big part of the annoyance that I am experiencing here is that we're having a hard time actually pinning these units down. There's a lot of stuff around here that can engage and disengage. We will stop having this problem in a moment once we are mostly engaged with their main force. It's not quite time to engage this yet. We got to be a little careful about the spears. I don't really want her to get mobbed by spears. But we should probably back her up. Our depth guard should handle some normal spearmen very, very well. And I don't think this Phoenix is long for the world. Yeah, it's freaking out. I don't have any problem with sacrificing these questing knights to spears, but I want to at least hit him in the side. Alright, the gunner's doing the gunner thing. Sorry I keep pausing. I just want to make sure we're doing reasonable stuff here, because we're pretty deep now in this campaign. It's not going to be easy for Silostra to just turn around, so it would be best if we didn't lose a ton of guys at this point. Which is to say, I think I should, like, you know, try a little bit. Why don't we just, like, do a good job, you know, for a change? So it looks like these guys just barely outrange me. We're having some problems with that. They know that they just barely outrange me. I'm going to have these guys fall in behind the spearmen, and these guys just run right at those Shadow Walkers. Oh, these ones are Sisters of Avalorn. So the Sisters of Avalorn are a little different. They don't have the ability to move while shooting, but they do have magic arrows and a significantly increased ability to engage in melee combat without getting immediately torn apart. Kind of want to do one of these. Right? Doesn't that look pretty good? I think these guys are going to mostly stay in place because they're fighting crabs right now, so I think we're pretty safe doing that. Silver Helms are getting just shredded by the handgun fire. There was hardly anything left by the time they got to Silostra. Oh, that was lovely. That was just beautiful is what that was. Alright, go have at those guys. I need a little bit of refocus here. Queen Bess is trying to make sure that there are no functional units of Shadow Walkers, but this is looking pretty good for me, I think. Do I want to start shooting at their heroes? Obviously, these heroes down here on foot do not present as much of a target for the gunnery mobs, and the gunnery mobs are not known for their accuracy. So I'm a little worried we're going to have a hard time hitting them. Let's see if we can finish off the Phoenix. It'd be really cool if there wasn't a Phoenix anymore. And then you guys can... I guess we got to start working on these handmaidens at some point. Alright, so Robert has run off all the enemies over here. The Silver Helms are dead. So I think it's time for him to start charging elf heroes. This is exactly what we've been training him for. And the Gunnery White probably needs to go reload Queen Bess real quick. We'll go throw that reload up, and then we'll have him turn around and start shooting people again. Let's send Silastra over this way, because I don't want to put her directly on top of the spears.
Oh, yes!
Although she could just engage with spears that are distracted. I definitely want to pull a song on these guys and just screw up their ability to fight. Looks like we kind of need some more bodies on this front. So see, she can cast while moving sometimes. Did you just shoot magic at me? What's wrong with you? Get him, crabs. Okay, we're doing some alright damage there. Mortars fire here. Queen Bess. Probably, like, there. We're gonna lose some ghost crabs. I'll tell you that. It does feel like Silastra's taking more damage than usual. The Paladin also taking kind of a lot of damage. He's getting magic damaged. Yep, keep chasing them. If we let go of the chase on those guys, I'm afraid they'll come back on us. So I think we should keep up the pressure. You guys can probably let that go. There is a terrifying Loremaster hero over here. He seems to be tearing my depth guard up pretty badly. So why don't we focus some guns on him, and then the rest of my terrifying gun line. God, I love having a massive terrifying gun line. Yeah, you guys are doing okay stuff. I'm gonna back Silastra up a little bit, actually. She's taking kind of a lot of damage here. I don't really love that. Well, things are a little different with her on the crab. Gunnery White got his thing done. Let's throw some grenades at some dudes. I'm gonna throw a grenade at this Lordmaster. I will say that Phoenix is doing a really good job of backing off long enough to regen. I mean, I know that's like kind of the whole thing of a Phoenix. Alright, Robert, why don't you come around here and wrap up these spearmen? I'm sure he can handle this, even though he is pretty wounded. Okay, it looks to me like their army is on its last legs. A lot of my army is also kind of on its last legs. Sing our song of victory. That's annoying, but I don't really have anybody in a convenient position to deal with it. Let's see. You guys probably need to focus this way, because your shots are probably pretty blocked. Alright, these guys over here are doing a good job of wrapping stuff up on this front. I mean, most of the enemies are fleeing. We're very close to just breaking them entirely. Gotta get rid of the Handmaiden first. You lot can focus on him. Yeah, the Handmaiden's more dangerous than the Light Mage. They gotta be running out of winds. Speaking of winds, where do I want to shoot a boat? Can I hit these guys with the Tide spell? No, not really. I could have Silastra disengage and run over there and hit him with the Tide spell. They probably don't have enough health to survive it. Yeah, alright, let's try to make that happen. So here's what I really want. Move over far enough to get that. Because these guys are bogged down by knights. They can't really do anything about it. Come on. There we go. That seems to have been the last straw. Oh wait, I forgot she was a wizard. No, we should get out of here. Well, that's a very embarrassing ambush. That's a series of embarrassing ambushes. So it seems like this faction's whole thing is that they get to ambush you on the attack. That's a thing that's not unique to them. Other factions have it, but they're the only High Elf group that has it. And honestly, I think High Elf troops probably take advantage of it really well. They haven't been, but given the unusually high range density that you often see in High Elf armies, you don't usually see this many spearmen. And the fact that those ranged troops are, unlike mine, actually extremely good on an individual basis, I would think that you could do some terrifying stuff with the ability to always ambush people. Just show up in the jungle lined up along their formation, already firing. They gotta scramble. Artillery crews should basically never get to live. It's just really, really poor use of it. I gotta say, though, if the AI could make good use of ambushes, it would probably be incredibly frustrating to fight this faction. And it looks like our Depth Guard did manage to survive, which is cool, because they have a ton of XP now. They're gonna be like actual veterans soon. High Elves showed up without a lot of money in their pockets. What is 4% replenishment? Man, that's not very good. And this is 1,500 gold. Alright, we gotta take that. I've become a confident defender. Unfortunately, these are only bonuses that apply when defending, which I'm not intending to do that often. I'm not going to spend that much time doing. So we should take a quick look at our actual objectives in a second here. It strikes me that we haven't had a look at them in probably a real-world week, and I don't exactly remember what cities are on our conquer list. I kind of want to just burn this stuff. I don't want to own all of this garbage, but we should check what's actually on our list of cities to own. Make sure we don't burn any of that stuff. I think it's mostly like faction capitals, so presumably Elithanar's capital is up here somewhere, and we will probably want to own that. I don't love this Lizardman faction that's all running around in my territory now. I don't really have anything to do about it. Alright, they attempted to wound our gunnery white, but they failed. And now we gotta put the pressure on. Well, sorry, now we gotta level up our heroes. So, I think there's no version of this where we don't take Siren of the Storm next. Missile resist, 8% hit points. You know, it might be time to start into one of the other lines, actually. I guess we can cross that bridge when we come to it. Even more weapon strength for even more lord murdering. And we haven't actually had that many battles where we've run out of ammo on the artillery lately, so maybe I want to get something else first. Like just allies within 30 meters of him always have extra missile and armor-piercing missile damage. I have to have him actually stand near the range to take good advantage of that. And what is in the raised dead pool here? Not much. Well, we can do a little bit of this. Merge up all of our really injured units and then, raise dead one of these guys.
The curtain raises.
I mean, we gotta finish them off, right? I think it would be foolish not to finish them off while they're running. And I'm gonna be honest with you, we could probably, if we auto-resolve this, we'd probably win. But I'm really nervous about, it wounding Robert or something. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it manually. The game always seems to distribute the damage during auto-resolves in really bizarre ways. Oh, that's lovely. It's just a big open field. So we're probably gonna have a pretty easy time with this. Once we have this done, there's a settlement to our west that needs to get taken. There's a bunch of stuff on the shore to the east that we could maybe use our secondary army for while Celestra pushes up inland. We might be able to wipe these guys out pretty quickly, actually. It has so far been the case, at least recently, that challenging me is not that productive of a plan. Oh, look at their units all grouped up. This is just very sad. We'll keep the 10 winds of magic. That's fine. We're already in artillery range, so no need to mess with that. Honestly, I like this formation. This is a good start. We should probably put the gunnery white up with the actual ranged troops. Oh, look, it's raining.
Listen and tremble!
Trying to keep the leadership auras spread out here. You know what? The reserves are pretty full right now. Let's wait a second on that. So, is his... Yes, his aura is around the artillery. Alright, I don't think we have any particularly fancy targets to pick here. I'd prefer to kill the Sea Guard over the spears, because elf spearmen, who cares? The Sea Guard actually have, like, arrows and stuff. But I suspect this is going to be pretty straightforward. You can see them now trying to dodge the artillery fire. We'll see if they manage to put that one together. It's not great for them, because the artillery is still firing near the rest of the enemy units. The Queen Bess is starting to miss. Very embarrassing time for her. I wouldn't ordinarily just refer to a cannon as her, but I mean, it does say Queen right at the front of the name. Alright, now that we've put a little bit of the reserves into the pool, we can do this, and then I can just, like, fire one of these off. I'm gonna use the non-overcharged version. Alright, so they're just outside of our firing range. Wow, that was actually pretty great. Let's retarget the... Actually, the mortar's firing pretty much where it needs to be firing. And the Queen Bess probably should keep trying to take out the healthy unit of Sisters of Averlorn, because they're actually pretty dangerous. I think we probably just want to move people forward. I'm actually going to keep Robert back here. We don't need to engage with anything except our ranged to win this fight, I don't think. Shadow Walkers, and you can come forward and shoot at those guys. Gunnery White should be focused on, like, characters and big stuff. Okay. And we'll keep an eye on Silostra and keep using her damage spells when they make sense. Although I suppose there's no reason not to summon some knights. They don't even cost any winds of magic, so... Oof. Big explosions. It kind of seems like they're already losing. Let's try to go around all the spears. Okay, the Gunnery White shot down the Phoenix. Alright, let's have at these heroes. There you go, that's the ticket. The poor elven spearmen having to walk into this cloud of rifle fire. Yep, you see him turning around. I'm like, wait, I don't want to do this. I think this fight is over. Alright guys, go after the mage. Get out of the way. This cannon barrage isn't even really going to be good. It's just going to be fun. I just like shooting at characters. Alright, so you three work on that. You guys work on that. You three should probably work on the princess. You know, I kind of think we need more ranged in this army. Oh, they shot a spell at my Gunnery White. How dare they? Okay, I do believe that's the end of that army. Those poor spearmen. They charged all the way forward into gunnery range, got mulched by the rifles, panicked, ran away, had time to pull themselves back together and turn around, just to have a mortar land right on their front line, and the whole side immediately shattered. It is not fun to be melee troops against the Vampire Coast. It is, however, a tremendous amount of fun to be driving the Vampire Coast. We do need to get some replenishment time, though. We fought a lot of battles. What is that, 4 battles in the last 2 turns or something? I need a break. I mean, sort of we need a break. All of our gun troops are still perfectly healthy. Nobody has laid a hand on the artillery crews at all. This mortar's almost into gold veterancy. So these chevrons here that indicate unit rank, they go bronze to from 1 bronze to 3, then to 1 silver, then from 1 silver to 3, then to 1 gold, then from 1 gold to 3. And each rank of veterancy increases your stats a little bit. I don't think damage goes up, but I think your attack, reload skill, that kind of stuff. The stuff that determines whether you hit and whether you get hit, your melee defense and whatnot. There are also skills in the Lord's red lines that will increase the stats of units that have achieved at least gold 1 very significantly. And that might be the place we're headed with Silostred next, now that we have all of her, all the personal buffs I want to get with her. So, got ourselves another very small amount of gold.
I'd rather have
Another 1,000 is available, and this is really just such a small amount of health it almost doesn't matter. We'll take the gold. Alright, we're killing enemy characters left and right. I mean, I could probably just take Iron Spike, right? Yeah, they have 7 units. We don't... Hold on. Before I burn this. So, there is the ancient city of Quintex over here, which has carved obsidian in it, and I assume... Yeah, an untyped special location. Do I even care, though? Like, do I want to own that? Let's take a look at the objectives list. So, have at least 10,000 infamy. We are well on our way on that one. Main control of 20 provinces, including the following. This is just all of Ulthuan, so we gotta go over there and take Ulthuan. Either by direct ownership or through vassals and military allies. Current total 3. Oh, current total is 3 provinces, but it's not. Yeah, none of these are checked off. Destroy the following factions. We're 1 of 4 on that, working hard on number 2. The other 2 are at war with me. And then control any 10 of the following settlements through ownership or vassals or allies. And these are like the big settlements of the world. So Corone is the capital of Bretonnia, I think. Altdorf, Drakenhof is vampire capital. The Oak of Ages is the big tree in the middle of Athaloran. Nagarond, Lothern, Kemri, Gaean Vale, the Awakening, the Galleon's Graveyard. So actually, it doesn't... I don't see anything that I would recognize as being up here. Nagarond is further to the north, like way over there. But it looks like this stuff on this side of the world doesn't really matter that much. So I guess we burn it all. I'm comfortable with that. I can handle that. And hey, after we've burned it, maybe we'll do some ruin-searching treasure puzzles. I really do hope that there are harder puzzles that reward, or that give you greater rewards. Okay, this is going to be really easy. But once again, with some of our units being so wounded, I'm afraid that like if I manual resolve here, it'll kill my depth guard. We don't even need to use them in the battle. We can just keep them in reserve like we just did. I don't think anything's actually going to get to us. And if anything does get to us, it's going to get the crab. Probably not her crab, actually. We'll probably summon some new crabs on it. And after we've done this, we might have enough gold. And we're doing pretty well plundering from battle here. We might have enough gold to actually get the upgrade for the lamprey that will allow us to start hiring the Promethean gunnery mobs, which I'm very eager to try out. It seems like the Prometheans maybe are more defensive than anything, and it's tricky to tell how good they're going to be at that role when they're summoned, because some units just naturally degrade. Once again, honestly, I think this is pretty much the right move. We should probably have our lords scattered throughout the line a little bit more, but... yeah, let's just start deployment. Okay, so... what is the range on your grenade? Is it, like, close to your... no, it is not even close to his gun range. Alright, well, that's a shame. So they're going to outrange us very, very slightly again. We may as well just start moving up on them now. We're definitely going to drop the ranged, or the artillery fire on their normal ranged, and then we can just have gunnery mobs already going after the horses right away. I want to leave a couple of gunnery mobs in the middle here for shooting at normal elves. Okay, I think with all the forces we have amassed here, probably that'll get the job done. Oh, you should pick a target too. You should shoot at that noble. Oh, Queen Bess. Embarrassing. I think the Queen Bess was trying to lead them, and they stopped running forward. Alright, so we're going to make ourselves some crabs, then we're going to make ourselves some knights. Crabs! Go to! It does kind of seem like these guys are screwed, huh? Up all that stuff. She doesn't necessarily need to get actually into battle, but I just want to get close enough to use my song. There are almost no enemies left. Yep, that's it. Okay. Well, that was easy. Did we sustain any fire at all on our actual units? One guy died. How very unlucky for him. It was one of the horse units got him. He was probably a rifleman, because the horses did run toward the rifles pretty quickly. But I mean, I have some of the weakest, softest units in the game, with the highest model counts, so like each individual figure is just total garbage, and they couldn't get more than one kill there. Even with horseback archers, couldn't get more than one kill there. It is interesting that Silostra has 2 kills. I didn't realize this worked this way. I guess it makes sense. But it must be attributing her kills from her summoned units. I mean, where else would they go, right? So that creates a little bit of a dead zone between Nagaroth and my northern front. Hopefully that will discourage them from running through. I'm hoping that if an AI army were to come down here and try to push south, they would see all those empty settlements and get distracted. Yeah, just burn it to the ground. I don't need this. I don't need this land. We could sack it, but again, like, we have places to be. Also, I think there are some pretty good traits you get for sacking multiple cities. Traits you can get, at least. So, we have a lot of the stuff we could want in the spell line. I don't really care about Emerging Terror. Okay, so we have 2 options now. We could go blue line or we could go red line. Red line is generally army buffs, buffs for the other troops in the army, like melee defense and leadership for deckhands and depth guard, or missile damage up for gunnery mobs and rotting Promethean gunnery mobs. And then eventually that'll lead to Avast Ye, which is a buff for my army. And then from there, you can see Gold Chevron 1, which is rank 7 and above. Significant stat buffs for any unit that we actually manage to get up to high level. Plus 12% missile damage and 12% armor and 15% magic resist. And this is all of the ranged and artillery units all in one skill. That's pretty cool. And eventually we could replace Avast Ye with a larger version of that. But we could also go up the blue line and pick up things like recruitment cost reduction is not really significant, I don't think. But even more casualty replenishment rate. Remember, some of our replenishment rate bonuses were temporary. Like, the reason we were healing so quickly was because we got a couple of events that had us healing quickly. So it would be nice to have that more permanently. Additional income from post-battle loot. More money from sacking settlements and leadership when fighting at sea. Eventually leading to... this is not an incredible skill. Extra growth for the ship. Upkeep reduction for all units is significant. You pay a lot of money in upkeep over the course of a game. The lightning strike ability would allow us to attack an army, denying reinforcements to the battle, so it would allow us to pick off armies that think they're safe because they're with their teammates. And it would eventually lead to Black Flag, which is relatively powerful, but to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know that we need this stuff. I think we might want to go red line. Her army's already kind of the best thing on the map, but what if it was even better? Plus, 5 extra leadership in that aura, definitely helpful. Yep, you tell him. Alright, a buff in the 40 meters around him that gives plus 60% accuracy and 20 reload skill to all friendlies. Yep, that's pretty good. In case you're wondering, reload skill affects the time that it takes to reload. It's not like a reload could fail and skill makes you less likely to fail. The more reload skill you have, the faster you reload. And we do, in fact, have the money to go up to the Rotting Prometheans building. I'm excited about that. So now we have this other army over here. We should probably start attacking their other stuff, right? Arnheim's pretty valuable. It is in a different province. It's like we could burn this whole province. We could just take... That's Amheim, I guess. No, it is Arnheim. This font is not super clear. As if all of the ambushing and nonsense wasn't enough, the High Elves have the gall to also have bad kerning. Well, we can't attack Arnheim this turn anyway. Yeah, let's just go ashore and hit the Moonshard. They only have a 7-unit garrison. This should be... Honestly, this is probably auto-resolvable. We'll lose the Bloated Corpse, which might not happen if we do this manually, but also who cares? I think we got a worse result there than I would have doing it manually. Now, granted, this army doesn't have the Queen Bess or anything, but... And I think we just burn it, right? Screw your stuff. Yeah, how you like that? Okay, so if we could get this guy to level 5, he'd be able to fill some of our pirate offices, and I would really, really like that. Like, what do we have? Fleet Treasure is just plus 10% all money. That's pretty good. Crew growth for Silostra's ship is fine. Upkeep down for, I guess, the units that have animals in them, which is not something we're getting a lot of value out of. 10% extra ammo for all of our armies. Like, there's some good stuff in here. Leadership up on all of the zombie pirates is a pretty big deal. And an extra 10% casualty replenishment for his own army. Upkeep minus 8% for all units in all armies is a huge amount of money. This one requires you to be level 8, but I think that's the office we would most like to fill. Alright. So you can't move anywhere. You may as well dig. Oh, gee, what a surprise. And then we'll go into replenishment mode here. And I guess we may as well completely fill the army. 3 bloated corpses is not amazing, but... Hold on. Let's cancel this. We're going to dig real fast. Okay, we were close enough for the dragon thing to go off. I was pretty sure it was this volcano. So we got 1,500 treasure for that, and a great hoard of treasure. It is not X that marks the spot, but the scrawls etched by ancients long thought lost. Okay, so that's on northern Ulthuan.
I need an audience.
A concern for another time. And then we still have like 3,000 gold left, so we may as well go upgrade some settlements, right? What needs upgrading the most? Oh, we still have our original province, which could use some love. You know what? I'm going to put up a wall around the floating pyramid, I think, because these guys are making me nervous. So let's get that all the way upgraded. Yeah, we're making some terrifying progress against Nagaroth. What do they have left? Is it 4? Nope, it is in fact just these 3 provinces. And none of them have huge natural garrisons. Arnheim is the most dangerous. But we now have 2 armies, so we just overwhelm them with sheer Sheer, stinking, rotting bodies. Although I suppose now that we've pulled away from home, we do have to be a little worried about Lothern showing up. Oh, we can search ruins with heroes. I totally forgot about that. It's a good use of a hero's time, probably. We have the resources to hire another pirate ship captain, don't we? That's probably a good use of our money, and he can run around and search the ruins that we've created. I would love to get across the ocean and do treasure hunts as well. Yeah, we should hire some heroes. We definitely have the capacity for heroes. I'll tell you though, what we need to get the capacity for is some Mourngul Haunters, because we need to have 3 Mourngul Haunters at level 20 or higher. And currently we are nowhere near that. I mean, that could be sort of a victory lap thing where we just like run around the world and murder people with our haunters. I'm not too worried about not getting it done, but I don't want it to bottleneck our progress, or our victory rather. We somewhat past the idea of progress at that point. Oh, I shook the bloody, you coward. One of these days we're actually going to kill that exotic goods hauler. Okay, so... Elastra can't actually get to any new areas this turn, but she needs to make some progress. Is the ancient city of Quintex the next one? Probably. We could just push Arnheim really hard.
Let us evade.
Try to crush their remaining forces there. Maybe that's a thing worth doing. Boy, you can't move anywhere.
March, you dead curs! Shamble.
Yeah, I guess I may as well move these two together now. We can probably threaten Quintex from here next turn. God, look at how awesome that crab is.
Seize calm.
So, we want to hire some pirate lords. I think we can do that down here, right? Oh, you know what? I don't have a level 2 dock anywhere. Yeah, we just don't have any recruitment.
Master.
Nope, we don't have any recruitment of heroes anywhere except for Silostra. I don't really want to recruit them here because of the Nagaroth heroes running around. I don't want them to get instantly wounded, but I guess this is the only place we can do it. Huh, I am shown as having one of 2... Oh, right, because Eve's not dead. She's coming back. Okay, well... She'll come back. For now, let's get a... Knowledgeable's not bad. Unfortunately, most of these things don't actually affect anything outside of battle. An increased chance of wounding aggressors is interesting. Yeah, let's go for that. Viola Drury.
Captain, on deck.
And Eve, I'm not sure where Eve's going to respawn. She might respawn right at Silostra. So we could go straight for Arnheim in order to crush them there before they can generate any more forces. I think if Silostra has the movement range to do that, we might want to do that. We might want to just commit and burn as many of them as we can. Please also miss. Man. He's actually assassinated too, not just... Oh no, that was Tommy Thompson, our lord. I didn't realize you... he's just been wounded then? Yeah, okay. He is wounded Tommy Thompson. So we'll get to replace him. And he'll become available again soon. You cannot actually assassinate lords anymore, I believe. That was a thing that could happen in the first game, Not so much in this one. So I'm pretty annoyed by that. Well, I mean, we don't really have a way of dealing with it. I haven't bothered to train up the counter-assassination heroes. The only thing we can really do is just remove Nagarath from the map. Okay, this High Elf faction is not actually at war with me right now. They could suddenly become at war with me. Looks like the Lizardmen and the Skaven are fighting, and judging from the fact that this didn't become a Lizardman city, I think the Skaven probably won that. So yeah, if you're smart, you can, from an early stage of the game, train up your heroes, your faction's heroes that are good at fighting other heroes on the map, and use them to crush enemy heroes before this kind of stuff can happen. For us, I believe it's the Mourngul Haunter, and I lost my early one foolishly in combat, so... Alright, we gotta replace you with a different lord. Well, ideally it would be somebody... Yeah, enemy siege holdout time down. It's Billy Hawkins. Hold on, is there another fire starter? This guy with the lore of vampires. So do I want a 2 to 7 loyalty? Wait, where was the other? You. Lenny the Clotter. Well, I guess better than the Lenny who doesn't clot. So 2 to 7 loyalty, but he's got the vampire lore, which I do want somebody with the vampire lore trained up. Because the vampire lore has good healing. We don't really need another person who has deeps that much. Celostra's got it under control. Yeah, even though this guy's loyalty is bad, we're going to gain some loyalty with him.
All bones on deck.
So Celostra does not have the range to take out Arnheim right now, but we could move on the city. The ancient city. Unfortunately, this guy cannot participate directly, but he can run up and do that. And then we can have... Oh, sorry, Celostra has to change movement stances. Celostra can include him in the battle, which hopefully will result in him gaining some loyalty. How much did he actually spawn with? Okay, 5, like right in the middle of his range. This should be a really, really easy battle, and we've replenished a little bit. I probably don't need to do this manually. Yeah, we're okay. It was ridiculous that my artillery took damage. My artillery would never naturally take damage. But in terms of rebuilding our forces after battle, it actually is a little bit better for the damage to be spread out evenly. Because replenishment is also spread out evenly. I'm kind of curious what the landmark building is here, but also... Screw elf cities. That's what I have to say about that. We got ourselves a Kraken Tusk, which gives us the Tide Call spell. That's pretty neat. Ah, and here we are. Raising settlements gets you the ability to reduce the enemy's holdout time. So when you roll up to a settlement and you put it under siege, you can build like siege ladders and stuff, but you can also just wait them out and make them starve. And that's what this is. The holdout time is the time until they start starving. Reducing enemy siege holdout time can be very powerful. Alright, so we need to spend 6 points in this box over here before we can move through Avasti. So, which 2 skills do we want to cap out? I probably want to cap out whatever gets me extra value on my artillery, right? Ammunition and missile damage. There's probably like artillery and gunnery mobs. Let's start with the gunnery mobs, because the artillery are already pretty effectively killing the things they actually hit. Alright, he gets to finish off Woundmaker. And then we dig, because there's actually no reason not to dig. Okay.
Bring me my drown.
She doesn't have the money or... Yeah, she doesn't have the money to upgrade anything here. We do have the ability to hire in some of those Promethean mobs. It would require us to chill here for 2 turns, which I don't really want to do. We're kind of in the middle of something. I don't suppose there's anything cool in the Raised Dead pool. No, not really. Well, let's merge up our deckhands. And then grab a new unit of deckhands at least.
Falling deckhands.
And you guys can also grab some deckhands. And I guess a bloated corpse. Okay.
Captain, on deck.
Yeah, so she just runs around and searches ruins, right? Searching ruins with a hero costs money. But, I mean, if we're able to do the puzzle, then it's going to be in our favor to do this, right?
So much blood.
Okay. This text is all the same. To access the treasure, solve the puzzle. Solitude is always desired. Solitude is always desired. Okay, well, what do we notice about this stuff? Well, it could be as simple as the fact that this shape is unique. There are 2 of these, there are 2 of those, and there are 2 of these. So this might be the answer just because of that. Is there any other way that the solitude is always desired could lead to any of these other answers? I guess this symbol is the only symbol of its color in its row or column. This has another symbol of its color in one of its rows. No, this also is the only symbol of its color in its row or column, so that can't be the idea here. I'm gonna go for this. This is the only one of these symbols. Okay. So we got 575 money more than we put in, and we also got a sword that's like totally okay. Is there anybody on the squad? You don't have a sword. Man, if I'm just gonna give him a sword though, do I want to maybe give him fencer's blades instead? Yeah, I think I do. I think that's better. We have some unassigned banners. I mean, he may as well get them. These are pretty bad banners. Okay, you don't have any use for that. We could give you an earthing rod, or like I'll give you a trickster shard, I guess. We're not really fighting a lot of mages. Well, I suppose we're fighting mages, but they're not important mages who I care about. Is maybe more accurate. Do we have the right gear on Celestra? So right now she has the brass cleaver, which is constantly giving all of her nearby allies 9 melee attack. That's actually probably the right thing for her. We only have the feather photork for this slot. I do think the power stone is the right thing for her here. So yeah, we're good.
Good understudy.
Okay, so we could level up Pirate Coves and send her out, like have her search a couple of ruins over here real quick, and then send her out to like Ulthuan to establish coves in whatever is valuable. That's not a great port. We can't really see too much else. And yeah, if she goes around the north side of Ulthuan, it'll take her in the direction of those valuable cities in the Empire that we were headed toward before. And I think we ought to save a little bit of money to make sure we can build the garrison building here as soon as possible, which means probably no more spending this turn. We're not doing any settlement upgrades. He is now on just the two provinces, or the 2 settlements. He's going to have a really hard time paying for replacements to his army now. As is usually the case in strategy games on high difficulties, the AI does get some free resources. So he does have some gold that's just basically appearing out of thin air every turn. But I don't think it's enough. Oh, she managed to wound my gunnery white. We gotta just wrap up this faction so I don't have to deal with all this assassination nonsense. Yes, they have some money appearing out of thin air every turn, but it's not going to be enough for them to run like 2 full stacks on, probably. Well, you know, honestly, it might be. They get a lot of free money. So the fact that we can see some cities over here is giving us messages from across the world, because we can see the ownership of the cities changing, I believe, even if we don't have current vision. As long as we have ever pushed back the fog of war over there, we know who owns the cities in that area. You can actually kind of find out who owns the cities in an area just by mousing over them, even through the fog of war, which is something they probably ought to fix. Yeah, it looks like Tyrion must have larger problems. I was expecting fleets from Lothern to have shown up on our shores by now. Well, once we've removed Nagaroth, all of our enemies, we're still at war with multiple factions, but all of our enemies are kind of in the same place, and that should make them a lot easier to deal with. Oh yeah, and maybe we can actually get some of this stuff done. I would like some regiments of renown. Alright, our man will be back soon. Eve is back. She reappeared by the Monument of the Moon, which is actually not a bad thing. Because we have another treasure map for... yeah, for the Galleon's Graveyard, so she can just go there.
Get going, skunk.
She can pretty much just repeat the trip she made earlier. Go down here, get that, and then run up to this area. Looks like the ports here have not gotten much more valuable. Brianna is still making us good money. But we could do another dig. Like maybe run in here, dig on the north border, and then run across to... We almost got to Marienburg. I really can't remember if it's called Marienbad or Marienburg. Alright, so we can't search this one again. I assume... we can search this one, right? Yeah, let's do more puzzles. I love puzzles that give a very, very small amount of gold. Okay, Solitude is always desired. So this is the same puzzle. This shape is not unique. This shape is not unique. And this shape is not unique, but the one that looks like an awesome little dinosaur totally is. Okay, Enchanted Shield. Sure. I think this guy's actually not wearing armor right now. So we can probably fix that. And let's make some moves here. I do need to grab a body to fill the slot that the Gunnery White has left open. We should probably move the other army first, because it can't move quite as far as she can, and I don't want her to outpace him.
Yes, my pretty.
Okay, she does at least have to go into March mode to keep up with him. It does seem like searching ruins is at least a good source of money, or a good source of XP rather, which is good because this might help us quickly level up our Mourngul Haunters once we actually start having some again. We can't be that far off of the building that hires them, right? Okay. So it's here. We'd have to get 11 points of population. So growth for the boat is still pretty important. And this will give us access to Syrenes again, too, which are valuable. At some point, we'll get the gunnery line, but this is probably the next thing we're after. And we have enough money that we can afford to spend a little bit and still be able to go in on the garrison line. We could try to make the recruitment structure for this hero in a different settlement. Wait a minute, where is it? Okay, it's a purple line building when it's not on the ship. Loaded corpses, animated hulks, normal rotting Prometheans, normal Mournguls, Syrenes, and the Mourngul Haunter. It's pretty good. And this would allow us to save our population on the ships for other stuff. Although, which city am I building that in? Fallen Gates? Fallen Gates is actually a really safe place to build stuff now. There are no enemies anywhere nearby. Would I rather build this in the capital so that I could get rotting Leviathans off of it eventually? Yeah, kind of. I'm not sure if I care that much. You know what? We could remove the gunnery building here. because we have this leveled up on Silustra's ship already anyway. And then we'll build the purple building there, so we will wait a turn. Because we're going to need to save up quite a bit of gold to make up for that.
In the trees.
I think it may be time for Viola to strike out and try to sail past Lothern. So they're just going to run around and gather influence off of us, which is allowing them to hire more effective lords and heroes, but I'm really not that worried about it. There is a limit to the amount of influence that you can make good use of, and also, we'll just shoot them. Like, I don't care how good their characters are, I'll just shoot them. It turns out, no amount of influence will hire you an elf that is bulletproof. Elves are not super into technological advancement, as you might have noticed, what with them being all like bow and arrow against the rifle line. So my suspicion is, even if somebody did figure out bulletproof vests, the elves wouldn't wear them. It would probably cut into their lithe mysteriousness too much.
You had your chance, elf.
Oh, what? You want a war now, too? Well, it kind of looks like you only have one settlement, so that doesn't seem very wise. A settlement that I'm about to be just a little bit across the strait from. Ah, we'll go over there and burn Toran Rock. Turns out gold isn't even really that valuable for us. There is a landmark here. It might just be a High Elf landmark, though. Ulthuan is covered with cities that have landmarks for the High Elves. And, like, I kind of want to set up coves, but in order to win wars, I have to eliminate players, so... Oh, here's the Reich Admiral. He's on his way. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. We're going to have to deal with that at some point here. Well, let's try to get through the rest of this nonsense, then. Oh, I just realized the time. Alright, we'll wrap this turn, though. Can we get this guy to show up to the battle not tired? No, we cannot.
Get on with it.
He really has a lot less movement range than Silustra does. I've been taking her incredible speed for granted. Okay, so here at Arnheim, we might have a sort of difficult battle. Yeah, 13-unit garrison plus the army. He has a pair of phoenixes. There's a lot of Lothern Sea Guard, which are spear infantry that also have bows. We're going to have to actually fight this manually. And you know what? I'm not 100% sure I have time for this right now. So you know what? This will be our suspense. This will be our leaving off point for today. That's going to do it for us. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time to see us finish off, maybe, Nagarath and whatever the name of that new elven nation that just declared war on us is in a single video. And we'll see you then.